Okay, I'm back. And what I want to do is first, um, I really want to talk about our art project first because I feel like it's something that those of us who are the nervous type, we like to keep our hands busy. We like to do things all the time, whether it's chew our cuticles or play with our hair or scribble. Well, that is our first assignment is to do doodling. Doodling is a practice that I would assume everyone in the world has done. Um, Starting with the idea that when you were a kid, maybe you went outside and you saw oil splotches on the ground, or it had just rained, or there was a pile of leaves or something that reminded you of an animal or a shape that was very familiar to you. This is the beginning ideas of doodling. And so, one of the things I would like to establish right at the get go is that the art portion of art and heart journaling goes to the very heart of your child, your inner child. And so, as we go into this process, I want to make sure that you are not neglecting to always have some type of paper next to your journal that you can scribble on, or you can do little shapes and um, not get obsessed. Just do as many as you'd like. When you are starting to actually do the journaling process, starting with the breath and the different chakras, which we will be going to here in just a minute, um, it is my suggestion that should you feel the urge to do a little squiggle, do it. The squiggles for me were always something that we did as a family. You know, when you go to a restaurant, you'd have those little napkins, paper placeholders. We would take one of those and flip it over, and starting at one end of the table, each of us would get an opportunity to do a squiggle, and then we'd pass it to the next person at the table, and they would finish the squiggle and turn it into something, and then we'd pass it all the way around the table. Um, it's a wonderful family tradition. I enjoy it, and I think that it's a great place for us to rekindle our loving communication with our inner child in a space where our inner child is um, excited, because all of us should have that kind of a relationship with our inner child. So that is what I'm asking you to do, is to get a piece of paper ready, do a few squiggles. You don't have to fill the page up. This is going to be an ongoing exercise. It's going to be one where what I'm doing is I'm actually going to ask you to do this fairly regularly. Like I think getting a little journal and taking it with you everywhere. Put it in your handbag, just carry it with you. For men, I don't know if you can find one that fits in your shirt pocket or your pant pocket. That would be the way to go. Or if worse come to worse, just a piece of typing paper folded over and use it that way. The thing is what I am using it for, and what you should know, is that this is a key to allowing your inner child to come out and interact with this process of becoming one with your heart, of allowing that exchange to take place. Because generally, this is where your heart lives with your child, your inner child. And your inner child lives in your heart, the most sacred space. And so that is the first thing I would like you to do. I'd like you to embrace that, and in whatever capacity, know that this is going to be an ongoing practice that I would like you to keep doing, because as we get further along, we will be going back with some of these doodles and actually working with the doodles to create the next phase of 40 days of self-love. Okay, so we're now moving on, and I these are not going to be real long. I am still learning how to use this equipment and the format and everything, and correlating everything is part of why I'm on this journey, because otherwise I keep procrastinating, and I'm not allowed to procrastinate anymore. So here I am, journey by fire. So here we are, and here I am. So now that we sort of have the basics of what I'm asking you to do with the art down, no detail, I understand. But you might want to take some time and put doodle in your Google search and see what comes up. Most of us don't have any fear of doodling. So let us proceed. Now that we have actually worked on that, the next goal is going to be one where you're taking your journal out and you're going to just write down in your journal, day 0. This is a protection day. This is a day when 0 days are holding space days. So what you're doing on a 0 day is you're protecting the energy around the 0. Protection, boundaries. Boundaries are huge. Many of us have lost our boundaries over many generations, and we are all being asked to go back in and have this discourse with our heart about setting up new boundaries or bringing up old boundaries. But since we are moving into a new time, space, dimension, new boundaries would probably be more important for each one of us. So at this point, get your journals out, write down that we're doing squiggles and doodles, and then underneath it, any emotions you feel about this, good, bad, indifferent, put a little comment. Place that comment there, because at some point you may want to go back and see, did you have an attitude? Did you expect this to be more professional? Any of the things that might come up for you. Oh, this is awesome. I love it. Just absolutely anything that comes into your mind about what you're doing in this very moment. Please write it down. And then under that, we are going to start with the clearing of our chakras. Now, I am going to go into chakras a little bit deeper, but not today, because I myself am hoping that over the next several days, I'll get a more smooth thing going on here, and I won't feel so disjointed that I have to do like 15 parts to my very first episode. Okay, so bear with me, please, as I detangle my mind from this spiritual event that I'm going through. Okay, so now, having done this several times with someone who is very good at what they do, and who is my mentor, I am following his format for the breathing. And right off the bat, because I am doing that, I'm going to let you know this. Go and sign up for 30 days of serious joy, where you can actually use the information from this 40 days in conjunction with me. I really believe it with all my heart that that is the highest and best outcome that you could have for $3.99. And if you cannot afford the monthly subscription after that, you will have at least advanced to bringing your heart to a very great place where it has boundaries, where you've actually worked through potentially some inner traumas and advanced yourself to your child having come out of any dark spaces it may be in, and it will have been worth every bit of that $3.99. So once again, this is it's almost mandatory. So go to seriousjoy.com. You'll see there that the first month is $3.99. He offers so many things that are beneficial, and if you follow me at all, then you know that I post his weekly weather report and every week. So whether that's on Facebook or whether that is on YouTube, okay? And by the way, he's other places too. So I just don't happen to have all those with me. I do, however, endorse his program 100%, and I want to make that clear why I am using this process. I want to make sure that I do it with integrity. Okay, so let us go to that idea that we are now going to start going into a nice, quiet, peaceful place. If you can hear the music in the background, then by all means come into a nice, calm space, and I will now go and we will start this process. And I want you to visualize a big circle that goes around you. Enclose yourself in the center of a zero. See yourself in the center of this zero. This should be feeling like a very peaceful and safe space. It is now this nice bubble. And once you have that beautiful bubble created, I want you to visualize to your root chakra. That's the red bottom root chakra. And I want you to visualize a little circle and bubble going around the root. So a bubble within a bigger bubble. And this bright red bubble is got this bubble outside. And we're going to stick with the basically the color of the chakras, or perhaps you have your own idea, but you're going to be putting protection around that root chakra. So now let's move up to the orange chakra, which is our sacral chakra, and let's put another bubble around that. It's orange. Once we've got that, let's move up to our yellow, which is our solar plexus. Now you've got a bubble around your solar plexus, and now we're going to move up to our heart chakra and imagine a big bubble around your heart chakra. That would be a green color, a beautiful green, emerald green. And now move up to your throat chakra. Let's imagine this bubble around our throat, protecting our blue light in our throat chakra. Now let's move higher up to our third eye, our indigo, and let us put a bubble of a bluish golden light around our indigo third eye. And then let's move up to the crown, which is a soft spot, back where our yarmulkes are worn. And let's put a bluish purple chakra color there. So we've got this big bubble around us, and then we've got 7 bubbles inside, and now we're going to work on some breath work. All right, so I want you to take 2 big breaths of white light all the way down to the crown, and then all the way down to the red chakra. When it gets to the red chakra, I would like you to blow that air out that beautiful bubble. Get rid of anything, anger, frustration, ego, sense of failure, any and all. And you can just say, all my negative issues I'd like to blast out of this bubble down in my lowest chakra. So let us inhale. Let us exhale. And as we exhale, it gets trapped by the larger bubble. But we are clearing that bottom root chakra as we exhale all that gunk out into the bubble that is containing all the stuff that it was in, not in anymore. It's out. This is a really good process, so it works quite nicely. Now, we're going to do this again for the next chakra. Big, huge breath of white light into our crown and down to our sacral chakra. Now let's release any worries about money, fertility, your children, your creations, your projects. We want to move any worries about that out, release it out to that external bubble. Move it out. We'll try another one. And let's move all that negativity out, further. One more time. All right. Now let's move up to our solar plexus, or our yellow chakra. And let's take 2 breaths there. And let's get rid of emotions, negative thoughts, anything that don't feel right, think right. Let's just clear all that in our yellow chakra. Let's just moving that through and getting that out of the inside of our chakra and moving it out. You might even visualize the hemisphere starting to get full of a lot of different cloudy crap in there because we've been letting it out. But let's just keep doing it because it's all right. This is a process that if we do it regularly, you'd be amazed. So let's move up to our heart chakra, which is our green chakra. We're going to clear it with 2 big, huge breaths of white light coming down to our head and down to our heart. Let's release past love, any heartbreak, any heartfelt worries, anything that your heart is holding in anger. Let's let go of it. Let's give our heart a second chance. Let's let all that out now. Let's take another big breath. And let's let all that not love, let's let it go, let it out, let it move on. Now let's move to our throat chakra. Bring that white light in. Releasing issues of fear and speaking up, being heard wrong, people that talk about you, people that have said things like, "Oh, you're not smart enough." Any of those kind of negative things that cause us to hold up our speech and not using our voice and not speaking who we are. One more breath just for the heck of it. Okay, let's move on up to our third eye. Back of the third eye. Bring that white light in. Let's get rid of any failed vision, any ignorance, any hidden information, any bad decisions, anything that just doesn't work. Let's push that out. push that out. Let's do that again. Now lastly, let's go to our crown. Let's do 2 big breaths from heaven into our crown. Releasing all negative connotations with church, God, priests, priestesses, losing your power in past lives to the church or anyone who's suppressed your religious beliefs. Let's let go of that. Let's let that out. Oh, and exhale. Okay, I don't know how you're feeling. This is only like day 1. This is a practice we are going to do every day. So you can replay this. I'll probably do it better in another day or 2. So bear with me. I thank you for us doing this. We're going to do 3 huge breaths now to clear all the chakras, anything left. Now we're going to take a little pin. Oh, this will work. And we're going to pop a small little bubble hole. And you're going to imagine this entire chamber is going to go out that little bubble hole, and it is going to be gone. And now this beautiful sphere is going to clear our chamber. 1, 2, 3. We're going to take a big breath now. And now let's push that, all that icky gunky stuff out that little hole. Once again, let's do that again. To clear this beautiful bubble. One more time. Now, we are going to go in and we're going to go to the Green Chakra. This is all about protection. We don't want to put anything in, we just want to protect. What must happen is take anything out of your consciousness, issues with people, issues with your children, issues with family, anything that you're holding, let go of it. You don't have to let go forever, but you do need it to be taken out for just a minute. And let's create some very specific boundaries to protect you, to protect your heart. Let's just do that. We're going to take a big breath of fresh air sent by God divine to purify our heart and to give us divine protection. And all that's in it is Creator and ourselves. And as soon as we have that protection in place, we are going to then go forward after we've evicted everything and we've started from scratch. We are now creating a sacred space protected by the divine, in ourselves and our higher sources, protected by our angels and guides. Now that we have done that, let's put all those loved ones you don't want out there back in your heart. Now vow to protect your heart. Vow to protect the core of who you were before you even came to this dimension. It was just you and your heart in your mother's womb. That's where we want to go. Sacred Heart, your ground zero. From this point forward, we will plant things in our heart that we know will grow to fruition. Everyone else needs to be an observer. Now, you've got your children back in there and people that you really care about. But this is the nucleus of your beginning. We've already reintroduced these people back in. They're safe. You know they're safe. No one else. We've got that inner child. That is where our inner child will come from to draw and be creative. Now that we have done this, just continue to see yourself planting a garden of beauty as we reconstruct our heart. Since this is a step 0 day. Now, I would highly suggest this is the point where once you've done this, you might want to go in and just squiggle. Don't get crazy. Just do whatever you want. Do a couple squiggles. And let's just do that as part of our letting ourselves be a child. We don't have to have anything be perfect. But it's a good practice. Just do some squiggles. At this point, I would have handed this to my kids, and it's Halloween, so, you know, we'd have had a blast. I see all sorts of ghouls here. Let's do that. And now you can write down things that you did learn today at the base of that particular page on your journal, and things that you don't think you learned that you want more information about. And please include that in the comments. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to suggest that you will experience some profound things if you can continue through this whole journey. That is the goal. This may be the first time, but not the last time that I do this, because I am learning. So bear with me as I learn, and you are my teacher. I thank you. I look forward to your comments, and I'm not judgmental, and I am appreciative. So if we can start today, then I will call this done. And I thank you, and I ask you to come back tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.